Okay, so now for the fun part of the review, comparing three of the different pick sets. Now, I chose to compare the Multipick Elite G Pro Dimple Lockpick set and the Bare Bones Bones 6-pick set and the Huck 8-piece set. While the flags are not completely identical, I tried to group them based on their similarities in size and their profile. So the way I attacked this review is I only have 6 of the bare bones picks. So I started with that and then found picks from both Multipick and the Huck set that matched those profiles. And then at the end of this, I'll go through and show you what was left in both of those sets. So if you wanted to look at the first set of picks to compare, oops, let's get these lined up. And then I need to get the camera to focus for me. So hopefully that's focusing. But you'll notice these are the curved. The curves are pretty identical. The real differences between these is that the bare bones and the Huck picks are a little closer to being identical to one another. So essentially, they're the closest of the three. The Multipick flat, this bent flag, is got a little more harder edges that could be, I suppose, sanded and filed down a bit. But what we'll see is this next set, which is the left curved flag, is very similar. So let me get these lined up and see if I can't get that to focus. And they're very similar in that capacity. Again, the Multipick flag being a little bit rougher on the edges, but what you see is a very close similarity between the Huck and the bare bones pick. And the same goes for the rest of these. I'll show each one, but it's very similar in that the profiles between bare bones and Huck are pretty identical. And the edges on the Multipick are a bit rougher than the bare bones and Huck sets. So we'll set that down. Look at these. Same thing with these. Nice rounded edges on the Huck and the bare bones, and the Multipick is a little bit more squared off, and again, a bit rougher than the other two. We go with the smaller profile. Very much the same. Nicely rounded. These are nice and smooth. And then finally this set here. Oh, come on. Just like that. So all in all, the Huck and the bare bones seem to have very nicely rounded and rounded off flags. Very smooth pick shafts. Can't complain. What was left over in the Huck were just a couple of extra picks. One is an additional right curved flag, which is identical to that one more or less. And then another left side flag, which is comparable to, I think, this flag here. So very similar to one another. Again, nicely rounded and smoothed off. So if we look at the Multipick and what was left, now typically in Multipick, I like picks 4, 5, 10, and 11, but what was compared to these picks down here, basically 4 and 5 were included with that. 10 and 11, though, never made it into these. So when you're working on very tight locks and keyways with pins that are very close to the edge. These types of picks would come in very handy, number 10 and 11. So basically, that's my comparison. I hope you enjoyed this review series. I hope someone learned something, or perhaps it helped help you make a decision about perhaps what set to invest your money in. Again, overall, for $30, it's really hard to go wrong with the Huck 8-piece Dimple lockpick set, and Bare Bones makes a really nice set of picks. Very, very, very well done. But for a more vast and thorough set of options and tools, Multipick, for the price and for the number of picks that you can get, 11 different profiles, it's really a decent toolkit to have access to. Again, I hope you enjoyed the reviews. Hope people learned some things. If you are not yet a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. And if you are a subscriber, thank you. Make sure you've turned on notifications and click the all so that you can be made aware of new content like this, as well as my giveaways and their drawings. Thank you for watching.